Hey guys, good morning. Alright, so in grammar we've been talking about combining sentences or kind of sticking two sentences together to make one sentence. That's what combining means, when you stick them together and make one sentence. When I looked at your work from last week, it looked like that was something that we needed to practice just a little bit more. Only one person had done really well on the practice, so it's alright, we're going to practice it just a little bit more. Alright, so as you can see on your screen there, we do have the glue, because one way that you can combine sentences or stick sentences together is by just gluing two whole sentences together. You're just going to take both of the sentences and put some glue and just glue them together, just like this. So let's look at this first one. I pushed the button, it didn't come on. Alright, so which kind of glue do I want to use, or which glue word do I want to use? Which one would sound best? I pushed the button and it didn't come on. I pushed the button so it didn't come on. I pushed the button but it didn't come on. Or I pushed the button or it didn't come on. You know, and sounded okay. Yeah, I pushed the button and it didn't come on. But I kind of liked but better. I pushed the button, but it didn't come on. So that's the one I'm going to use. And I'm just going to glue both of the sentences together just like this. So there's the first sentence, and I'm not going to put an end mark. Remember, I've got to put a comma if I'm gluing two whole sentences together. And then I can use that glue word there, but. And then I just write the whole other sentence, but I don't need to capitalize it this time. Alright, so as you notice, I wrote both sentences. I pushed the button. It didn't come on. That's both sentences. And I just glued them together with a comma and the word but. And now I only have one capital letter and I only have one end mark. Because now it's just one sentence. It's just a big long sentence, okay? Alright, let's look at another one. Alright, I asked my mom. She said I could go. On this one, I'm going to just glue both of the sentences together. I'm just going to choose some glue down here, and I'm just going to glue both of these whole sentences together. So which glue would I use? Which one would sound best? I asked my mom, and she said I could go. Yeah. I asked my mom, so she said I could go. I asked my mom, but she said I could. No. I asked my mom, or she. No. I think and does sound better this time. Most of the time, guys, and will sound fine. But sometimes you might want to choose one of the other glue words. And then I can glue it to the second sentence. So to glue it to the second sentence, I just need a comma and the word and. And then I can write the second sentence. Alright, so as you notice, I did write both of the sentences. I asked my mom, she said I could go. Those are the whole sentence, and I just glued it together with a comma and the word and. If you're gluing two whole sentences together, you have to have the comma. This comma is really, really important when you're gluing both whole sentences together. And remember, if you're doing that, you only need a capital at the beginning and one end mark at the end because you're gluing them all together. Alright, here's another one. My pants are ripped. Granny will sew them. I'm going to glue both of these sentences together and just make one big long sentence, but which glue should I use? I think so sounds better, and this time my pants are ripped, so Granny will sew them. That sounds better. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to write both the sentences and just glue it together with the. There's the first sentence. I'm going to put my comma and the word sew, and then I can write the second sentence. I wrote the first sentence and the second sentence. I wrote the whole sentence because I'm gluing both of the whole sentences together. And you just glue it together with the comma and the word so, or any glue word you choose. Remember, you should just have a capital at the beginning and an end mark at the end. I did put a capital here because that's her name. Her name is Granny, and names have to have capitals. So I did put a capital there, but normally I would not have. All right, now you're probably going to notice that I've taken away one of the glue, and I added some scissors. And if you notice, the glue looks different because none of the glue has commas this time. And that's because we are going to talk about combining sentences. We're still going to stick these sentences together, but this time we are not going to stick whole sentences together. I've got my scissors there because I'm going to use these scissors to kind of cut the sentences up and stick them back together. And I can do that because do you notice that there are words that are repeated in these sentences? Me too. Has brown hair, has brown hair. Since there are words that are being repeated, I can use those scissors. And I'm going to go up here and kind of cut out one of these. I'm going to cut this one out. I'm cutting all that out. I cut all that out because I don't need to say it again. And I can rewrite this whole sentence by doing this now. Mom and Dad. I'm going to add the word and. Have brown. And I just realized that I won't be able to say has anymore. That doesn't sound right. I'll have to say have. Mom and Dad have brown hair. And I was able to cut the sentences apart and just use pieces of the sentences. And I glued it back together, but I don't need a comma because I'm not gluing whole sentences together. I use those scissors and cut the pieces that are being repeated out. So I don't need the comma. You only need a comma if you are gluing two whole sentences. Let's practice another one. If you notice in this one that it also has words that are repeated. If there are words that are being repeated when you have repetition, you can cut some of those words out and fix the sentence back a different way. So, yep, if you notice, it's talking about things that have wings, and they both say they do. So go up here with your scissors, and I'm going to cut that part out. I don't need it. And then I can change it into birds and bats have wings. And I'll need to add the word and. Doesn't that sound better than having to say birds have wings and bats have wings? That would be fine. But this would be a lot better so I don't have those words that are repeated. And if you notice, I did not put a comma with the and. There's no comma because I'm not gluing two whole sentences together. Okay? Let's try one more of these. All right, on this one, do you see anything being repeated? Yeah, me too. Horses have, horses have. Yep. So take your scissors up there and let's cut out the part that's being repeated. I'm not going to glue the whole sentences together. I can take these pieces out since they've been repeated. And now I could turn it into horses have manes. Oops. And tails. There we go. Horses have manes and tails. And I had to move the period over to the end, didn't I? But that sounds a lot better. And it was only because they had words that were repeated. And if you remember, I'm not using a comma because I'm not gluing the whole sentences together. I cut pieces out and pieced it back together with the glue. I only use the comma if it's two whole sentences. All right, I think you guys are ready to practice this on your own and kind of show me you understand. So you're going to need a piece of paper or your board, whatever you're going to write on, and we're only going to do 6 of these. So you can number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so on this first one, you're going to look at the 2 purple sentences, and you are going to write A, B, or C, which one is the correct way to combine them, to put them together. And all you have to do is write A, B, or C, okay? All right, let's try the next one. And remember, if you're not ready, you can always just pause it until you are and then replay. All right, number 2, you're going to read both of those sentences, and you're going to choose A, B, or C, which one is the correct way to stick them together, to combine them. All right, number 3, go ahead and read those sentences, and then choose A, B, or C, which one is the correct way to combine them together. Number 4, read those sentences, choose the correct way to combine them. Remember, just write A, B, or C. All right, number 5. Read those sentences and choose the correct way to combine them. And the last one, number 6. Please read those sentences and choose the correct way to combine them. All right, you're going to take a picture of your paper or your board, whatever you used, and attach it to this assignment. I'm sure you guys did really good. If you did have any trouble with this, remember you can send me a message and we can work on it together, okay? All right, bye guys.